Move around. Get your body going. And then we're going to find alignment on our mat, starting with the feet, hip width distance apart. I just want to review what is hip width. If you put your hands on your hip bones, you can feel them, point your fingers down to your feet, then your feet will be right under your fingers when your feet are hip width distance apart. Okay? So that's what we mean by hip width. Sometimes hip width is interpreted as this, and that's a little wide. So let's start by grounding through the feet, all four corners of the feet. Okay. We find the big toe mound, press down, outer heel, press, inner heel, press, little toe mound, press. Lift all 10 toes, spread them out, and bring them back down to the mat. So now we have a nice even stance, big feet. Let's line up the body. We're taking the hips over the ankles, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. Okay, now just put your hands on your thighs for a moment. When your hands are like this, your shoulders are rounding forward. They have to, right? And your heart space is more closed. So now take your arms out by your side, open the palms forward, and you can feel that expansion through the chest, right? Opening the heart, and you can feel your shoulders rolling back, improving your posture, making more space for your breath, and let's breathe here. So start by just inhaling and exhaling gently, smoothing things out. All right. And suddenly, like all of a sudden, it got super cold, right? So we're going to find our own inner warmth and inner glow to keep us nice and warm through the what might be a series of frigid days ahead. So let's go ahead and look right in your core, in your center, okay? And find a little light in there. Exhale, and as you inhale, send your breath there to feed and brighten that light. And as you exhale, the light softens, but it does not go out. Inhale into that light, brightening it again, even more. And exhale your own inner light here. Now, as you inhale and feed that light again, notice that there's some warmth attached to it. And exhale, soften. And as you inhale into that light and warmth, now start to send it all the way through the body, into the tips of your fingers, the tips of your toes, the crown of your head. And soften. And just focusing on that inner light and warmth, go ahead and do that 2 more times. Inhale. All the way through the body, and exhale. And 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. And carry that light with you through your practice and off your mat today. Okay, so now we're going to start our spinal series. We'll take the feet this time wider than hip width distance apart, and let's just warm up the knees and hips, bending, just to get things moving a little bit here. So when we move into our cats and cows now, we're going to let the knees and hips continue to move in that way. All right, so let's take our cats and cows nice and big today. Arms long out to the side. Round forward, fingertips touch. Open the arms up and back, heart up to the sky. Round forward, here's the cat. open wide into cow. And your lower half of your body is just moving naturally as you continue with cats and cows to equalize the spine. We're opening the shoulders here, opening the heart, lengthening the spine as we come into our cat, right? And the next time your fingertips touch, just hold them there. Bring your palms to touch. Bring your hands to your heart. Exhale. Now inhale your fingertips up toward the sky. And as you exhale, bring your legs to touch, feet to touch. Alternative version of mountain pose with the legs touching. And just notice if you feel balanced in this or if it feels a little more wobbly. We're just observing and noticing. All right, so let's shake things out and we'll continue with our spinal series here. We're going to be tilting side to side. So the feet are still a little wider than hip width distance. We want to keep them planted. When we tilt, we're moving the rib away from the hip, okay? We're not moving the shoulder closer to the ear. So take your arms up, take your right wrist in your left hand. Keep your feet planted and tilt to the left. Yeah. Come on up and take your left wrist in your right hand. Keep your feet planted, especially that left foot, and come on up. And we're going crescent back over to the left. Yeah. And up and to the right. And up, back to the left. And up and to the right. And up. So we've warmed up the movement now. We're going to crescent over to the left and stay here. Soften the shoulder and reach a little more to the left. You can use your left hand drawing the right arm. I don't want to say tugging, but sort of drawing the right arm a little farther over to the left. And stand tall and a left wrist in your right hand. Tilt. Grounding here. Now soften the shoulder. Keep the shoulder away from the ear. We want the stretch to come in the side body. And use your right hand to gently encourage a little more lengthening in the side body here. Good. Bring it up. Oh, let's give those shoulders a break here. Shake things out. Whew, move them around. Okay, so that was 4 directions of the spine. Forward, back, side to side. Now we're going to twist. Okay, so we'll start with the feet mat width distance apart and just reach. Left arm to the right, right arm to the left. Let the lower body move with you. Reach and reach. So important for the body to be able to twist. It's such a functional move. Okay. And sometimes we need to reach up and take a little twist, right, to get something down from a cabinet. So let's start reaching up with a little twist. And then we're taking the arms back to shoulder height and then reaching now toward the earth. And then come back up to center. And release. Heel toe your feet back together. Come back to equal standing. Find equal standing with your feet hip width distance apart. Inhale and exhale. All right, we're going to be heading down to the mat for our core work, which today will be dead bug. Okay, so you can do dead bug in a chair. It looks like this all the time. Well, this, okay? Or come down to the mat if at all possible. So we'll start at the top of the mat. We'll all work our way down, okay? Start at the top of the mat. Find your mountain pose. Inhale, float the arms up. Now exhale into a swan dive where you feel comfortable. Maybe your head is higher than your heart. Maybe your head is in line with your hips. Maybe your head is below your hips here. Bend your knees Set the hips back, bring your hands to your thighs here and shine your heart forward, half lift. Now continue bending at the knees and hips. Bring your fingertips down and step back to the downward facing dog. Okay, so down dog on all fours. Okay, this could also be done with your hands on a chair or the wall. But if you're here, you're here. And let's go ahead, wherever your hands are, and bend one knee and straighten the other, alternating, pressing the heels down toward the mat. Massaging those feet, waking them up. Now take one heel down and hold. Switch, take the other heel down and hold. And now take both heels down and hold. And now your calves are saying, wow, that felt great. Thanks very much. Go ahead and bring your knees down and sit off to the side, finding seated mountain pose. To balance in seated mountain pose, we need the sit bones to be even on the mat. So let's do that. The feet are flexed. Inhale and exhale, and we're going to energize our practice. Take your hands down by your side. Start to feel the energy bubbling up from the earth. Exhale, and then as you inhale, scoop that energy up. Inhale, arms up, shoulders down, ribs lifting away from the hips. Bring that energy in between your palms, touch them together, and as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. All right, and shake it out. So we're ready for dead bug. If you want to watch for 1 second, because it's been a couple of weeks, then go ahead. We'll be doing this, and it's going to be arm and leg, right? Arm and leg. Then we'll do it with one knee lifted. And then we'll try it as an option with 2 knees. Okay, so anywhere along the way, you're going to find your version. So let's start with 2 feet to the mat, hands by your side. Okay, we're going to extend the right leg and bring the left arm back. Now notice you want your right heel to be 2 inches off the mat. We're not just plopping the leg down, okay? This is for the core. So lift your heel, make sure your core is working here. Now bring your right foot down and your left arm down. Extend the left leg, heel is 2 inches off the mat, right arm is back. And bring it in. All right, you can probably already feel some core work happening there, yeah? Let's go ahead and do it right knee lifted. So the right knee is in tabletop. We extend the right leg. The heel is still 2 inches off the mat. Left arm is back. Bring that right knee in, arm down. Take your left knee up, okay? And extend the left leg. The heel is 2 inches off the mat. Right arm is back. And bring it in. Okay, so that was dead bug with 2 feet down and with 1 knee up. Okay, so let's try whichever version of that you liked. We're going to go 4 times on the right and 4 times on the left. Okay, raise one leg if you're going to do it with the knee up. Okay, all right, knees up for everybody. So that's what I'll do. Okay, let's go ahead. Right knee up. We're going to go 4 times on the right. Right leg extends, left arm back. Bring your leg back in, but you're staying in this knee up position. And 2, again on the right. And in. And 3. And in. And 4. And in, bring your right foot down, take your left knee to tabletop, and extend left leg. Knee stays up, left leg. Knee stays up. 3 on the left, in. 4 on the left, in, and release and butterfly your knees. All right. Raise one leg if you felt anything in your core with that. Okay, a little bit, I know. So for some, that's fairly mild. Now we're going to do it with 2 knees up. So let's try 2 knees up and the hands by your side. We're going to extend the right leg, left arm back and in, and extend the left leg, right arm back and in. Now hug your knees in for just a second and massage your spine. If the 2 knee up version worked for you, continue with that. And if not, then start with your right knee 2 times and go to your left knee 2 times. Does that make sense? Okay, so we either have 2 knees. Yeah. Oh, perfect. All right, here we go. So we're going to go right for 2. So extend the right leg, bring it in, extend the right leg again. Bring it in. Left leg for 2. 1. In, 2, in, and hug it in. Rock. All right, knees up again. We're going to start on the left this time. Hands down by your side. Left for 2. 1, 2. And right for 2. 1, 2. And bring it in. And just for fun, we're going to do 3 variations on double legs. Bring your feet down, hands down. We're going to go 2 legs, 2 arms. Extend and in. Extend and in. Okay, I guess there's only 2 variations of doubles because now we have to take both knees up. All right? Can't really alternate and do doubles. All right, so here we go. 2 knees up, extend, and in, and extend, and in. Hug it in and rock side to side. All right, are we good to go here? Let's bring the feet down, open and close the knees, and we're going to do some great hip opening now. All right, so let's go ahead. Take your feet are on the mat. Take your right ankle across your left thigh. Your right foot is flexed. Draw your legs in towards you. Hold on to your right shin with both hands and take your legs side to side. Now forward and back. We're moving the hip in a lot of different directions. And now we're going to circle the hip one direction. Notice that you're also getting a spinal massage here, and circle your hips the other direction. And bring it back to center. Now just take your left leg straight up and really point and flex, paying a lot of attention to that left ankle. Slowly circle it one direction and the other. All right, now as much as possible, cross at the thighs. Your right leg will be closest to your body, and you can hold on to the sides of your legs here and move around. If you happen to find your ankles with your hands, you can do that and just move around. Good release for the hips. Now release, unwind, and go ahead and butterfly your knees, gently open and close. We're taking the left ankle across the right thigh. So we're coming, this is pigeon, right? We're taking the legs in toward us and put 2 hands on the left shin, and then go ahead and move the legs side to side. So in this version of pigeon, we're moving a lot. In some versions, you are more static, but we are moving the hip in many, many different directions, side to side, forward and back. And circle. One direction and the other. And then come back to center, take your right leg straight up, and we're working very intentionally the right ankle as we point and flex and circle and circle. Now crossing at the thighs here. Okay, so for some people it doesn't work to cross at the thighs and they wind up more crossed at the calves. That's fine too. Okay, just hold on somewhere and circle around. We want to feel the left hip here, just releasing. And release, unwind, bring 2 feet to the mat, butterfly those knees. And we're going to come to hands and knees and come into a knee down plank. Now if this is not working for your knees, right? Okay, so we don't want to be on the knees. We're going to stand up and put the hands on the chair and walk the feet back as much as possible. Okay, on hands and knees, you're coming into knee down plank, so you're extending, right? We're extending with the hands on the chair too, and we're going to push up. So let the elbows bend, do a push up, and then set the hips back. So if you're standing, it's going to look like this. Push up, press back, bend the knees, hips head down toward the earth. Okay? And if you're on the mat, it's going to look like this. Push up, hips toward heels. Same thing. All right, so if you're on the mat, the next time you press back, come into child's pose. If you're at the chair, walk your feet in, bend your knees, and just rest your forehead on your arms like this. So this is more like a standing child's pose. Great. All right, everybody come to down dog on the mat or on the chair, down dog. And then walk your feet to your hands. Bend your knees, bring your hands to your thighs, shine your heart forward. Roll your hands down your legs into whatever's comfortable for you for forward fold. Press through the feet as you float the arms out and up. Palms touch. And hands come heart center. And shake it out. All right. Everybody okay? We good? All right. So we are going to do some front hip flexor opening. All right. We want to have hands on the chair. Okay. Even if you don't usually use a chair, have your hands on something because this is just the style that we're doing it in today. So your hands are on, yes. Good. They're on the back of the chair, not the seat. We're standing up and we're taking the right leg way back, bend your left knee. So we're in a lunge position here, right? The right heel is lifted, the heart is lifted. Now we're going to bend the right knee and press back through the heel. The heel's not going to reach the ground, the earth probably. Bend. So we're going for this front hip flexor here and stretch back. Bend and stretch back. All right, bring the right foot forward. Take your left leg way back. Heel is up. Right knee is bent. We bend the left knee, taking the knee closer to the mat. Press back. Bend the left knee. Press back. And bend the left knee. And press back. All right. So now take your feet wide, walk back a couple of feet away from the chair, and get a nice spinal stretch here. Hips over heels. Okay, so we're stretching through the spine here. Inhale and exhale, just taking advantage of the fact that we have the chair. Okay, and now start to come up, start to walk your feet together and shake it out. Okay, we're going to move into some balance here, and we're going to be doing tree. So if you want to have the chair nearby just for a little extra, potentially you might have your hand on the chair or just reach for the chair. If you start to feel a little unstable, we're going to work on tree here. So we don't need the chair right now. We're going to balance. The feet are hip width distance. Remember how we balanced the feet earlier? We lifted the toes, thought about all four corners of the feet, lifted the toes, brought the toes down nice and big. Okay? Inhale and exhale. So firm base of support. Now we need to find a spot that isn't moving, called a drishti. So look directly ahead of you. Find a spot that isn't moving. Find your drishti. And now we're going to take a nice exhale to release any anxiety that the thought of balancing might have brought. So inhale through the nose. Clear and calm the mind with a nice exhale through the mouth. All right, now we're ready. You can start with your hands on your hips. You can start with your left hand lightly on the chair. Take your right heel up. Turn your knee out. Kickstand your right heel against your left leg. If you're ready to move into tree, just go ahead. You don't have to wait. Okay. And from here, see about raising that foot off the floor. See, that's why I said find something that isn't moving. Not me, because I'll move. All right. So that's what we're doing here. Do we want to keep the toes kickstanded or the foot up? And then if you're feeling comfortable, you can bring your right hand to your heart, leave your left hand gently touching the chair, or bring both hands to your heart. That's the tree. And release, shake it out. All right, so we're going to do that again on the right side. Left leg super strong, okay? And go ahead, go right into tree if you want. Take your arms up, do whatever you want. Or we're starting here, one hand on the chair or hands on the hips, knee out, foot finds the left leg. The body might respond better this time. So see how far you can go. One hand or two hands to the heart. Now, if you're feeling comfortable there, even if your left hand's on the chair, raise your right arm. Yeah, grow your limbs and release. Shake it out. Nice. All right, let's switch sides. Big feet, hip width distance. We're resetting. We find the drishti all over again. Everything is lined up. Mind is calm. Hands are at the hips or one hand on the chair. Left knee out. Left foot, left heel comes to the right leg or left foot to the right leg. So you have to experiment, like this side might be more or less stable than the other side. Bring one hand to your heart, possibly two hands. And release. All right, here we go. Back into tree. Left foot to right leg. One or two hands to the heart. And release. Shake it out. All right. Did anybody notice, like the second time you did the same side, it went a little better, was a little more stable, or just the same both sides, both times? Typically, one side will be a little more steady than the other, and sometimes the second time is better than the first. So let's go ahead and move the chair out of the way. And we're going to be working with our legs wide, okay? We'll be doing sun and moon. So the legs are wide. You might either turn your mat if you want to stay facing forward or turn sideways on your mat. But the heels are definitely wider than mat width distance apart. The toes are turned out. And we're going to put the hands on the hips. Ground through the feet, bend the knees, and you'll know that you're grounding through the feet when you bend your knees and the knees go over the toes. That means your feet are nice and even. If your knees are turning in like this, it means your feet are turning in, right? So we want to get this established here. Good. Now we're going to do 5-pointed star, arms up. And take this to a moonflower. So bend the knees out over the toes, elbows to waist. There you go. And take it up. 5-pointed star to moonflower. 5-pointed star. Let's find that inner light, inner warmth. Reach up, inhale, and draw energy down from the sky to feed our inner light and inner warmth. And reach up for more and draw energy in. Reach up and draw energy and light and warmth in and take it up. Now we're going to share that with the rest of the world with a sunburst. So take your arms down, cross your right arm in front of your left, inhale, and open the arms wide. Share your light. Left arm in front, share your light. Just bathe your whole space in it, then bathe your whole house in it, then let it go outside and bathing the whole world in your light. Sunburst. And one more time with the right. And one more time with the left. And bring your hands to your hips, heel toe, and shake the legs out. We're going to be coming back down to the earth now. So first, let's go ahead and just scan the body, move around. When we come down, if your space has cooled and you want to have something to cover up when we do final relaxation, even if you're doing final relaxation in a chair, you might choose to throw a blanket over your lap. If it's cool in your space, it may not be. Okay? So we're going to work our way down and we're going to be doing some bridges. Okay? So we'll be rolling the spine up and down. And then we'll do some other finishing things. So come to the top of your mat, find equal standing. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Take a half lift, shine your heart forward, bring your fingertips down, step back to down dog. And in this down dog, we're going to let the hips move side to side. Yep, just a little bit. Now you can come to seated without having your knees touch down. You can bring your knees down and sit off to the side, or just bring your knees almost down and sit off to the side if you want to avoid touching your knees down. Come into seated mountain pose. Long spine here. Let's take a nice deep breath, inhaling energy from the earth. Palms touch, hands come heart center. And shake things out. We're going to go into a couple of soft forward folds. So just float your arms up any amount and melt over your legs. Roll your hands up, float up, and melt. And roll your hands up. Now we're going to be coming down to our backs and doing the bridges. And then after that, we'll be doing windshield wipers. So windshield wipers look like this. Your feet will be mat width distance apart. You'll be laying down and your legs will be going side to side. Okay? All right, so let's start with the feet hip width distance apart and roll down. We've got the heels pretty close to the hips here, hands down by your side. Now just roll your pelvis up, roll your hips. They're still on the mat. Your spine is on the mat, but we've rolled the hips toward us. And now roll down and put an extra arching in your back as the pelvis rolls forward. Roll the pelvis towards you and roll the pelvis forward. Okay, so we're just massaging the spine forward and back like this. And now as you roll the pelvis towards you, press through the feet and lift those hips any amount. Slowly roll down, arch the back, and then do it again. Roll up into bridge, roll down, put a little arch in the spine, and one last time, roll up, slowly lower your spine, and just keep it this way. Okay, we're not putting that extra arch, we're just staying here now. Take your feet mat width distance apart, extend your arms out from your shoulders, and take your knees side to side. Knees go one to one side, head goes to the other. Windshield wipers here. And as you move through your windshield wipers, you are getting a nice front hip flexor stretch. You're getting a nice side body release. And you're checking in to see how far your body wants your knees to go in windshield wipers. And rock your head from side to side. And then finish up, come back to center, bring your feet hip width distance apart with your knees bent. We're going to extend both arms and both legs. Inhale. Exhale, draw your knees in and hold on under your knees. So you've got your thighs here. Inhale and exhale. Take some width in between your legs here and rock side to side. All right, now extend both arms and both legs. Inhale. Exhale, draw your knees in, and this time, find happy baby. We start by flexing the feet and taking them up to the sky. Maybe your hands reach your feet here and you hold on to your feet. Maybe they don't and you hold on to your thighs. You're in happy baby here. And do a little more spinal massage here. Good, and then come back to center, release, bring 2 feet to the mat. Take your right knee in. Hold on to your right thigh. So you've clasped both hands around your right thigh. And we're going to extend the right leg and bend the knee. Extend and bend. So your extension might not be complete extension, or it might be. You do you. Extend and bend. Last time, extend and bend. Okay. Release. Take your left knee in, clasp your hands around it, extend and bend. Extend. With your hands on the back of your leg, you can feel your hamstring working here, right? To extend and bend. Extend and bend. Extend and bend. And last time, extend and bend. Bring the feet down and butterfly. All right, now come back to center and start to scan your body. Okay, is anything feeling like it wants to move or reposition, realign? Did you grab a blanket that you want to cover yourself up with? We're moving into our most important pose of our practice, final relaxation. Okay? And in final relaxation, the body has a chance to absorb the benefits of all the work you just did. So find a nice comfortable position. The knees can be bent, the legs could be straight, whatever's most restful for you. Palms facing up is traditional, hands about 6 inches away from your hips. But if your shoulders are happier with your palms facing down, then that will be your position. Align yourself. Now think about you've been doing, and we're going to move into just being. So inhale through the nose and take a nice slow exhale. Let everything go. Release yourself onto the support of the earth and just be. There's no doing, just be here in final relaxation. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your space. Invite a deeper breath. Gently bring movement back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And take a nice long inhale. Exhaling, draw in. And find your way back to a nice, easy seat. As you turn your gaze to your own good heart and your bright spirit, thank and honor yourself for your practice, and we thank and honor each other for sharing this time. Namaste.